And the drummer of the night goes to Anthony Dodge.
Air drummer, the world's greatest air drummer.
Yeah, could you just turn it down a bit? I mean, I'm going a little bit deaf here. Yeah,
Oh,
g'day.
wait, wrong hat.
Yeah,
There we go. There we go.
Mine's in the car full of sweat stains. Oh, bugger off. Not now. Um, no, not you, the bloody antivirus thing. G'day, Andy and Jean Ricard. How are you? Jean Ricard,
Hi,
welcome.
all two people here.
And Andy, I know I'm probably about an hour, an hour ahead of you, aren't I? Yeah. But, yeah, yes, I am still in Serbia. Behold, but it is my last Saturday here.
Oh, Lord, stuck in Serbia again.
What do you mean again? Still. But it's been interesting. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's been an interesting last 3 days. Yeah, when was it? Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Thursday, basically. The last 3 days been, or the whole week's been interesting, actually. I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I ended up getting involved in a big fight last Tuesday. My beard got shrunk and my head got shrunk as well. What?
Well, you need to stop insulting barbers.
Yeah, the girl got the waitress at the coffee shop next to the barbers just grabbed me by the scruff and took me in. I couldn't fight her because she had a girlfriend with her too. You don't argue with the Serbian girls, but anyway, they didn't do too bad of a job. Um, I'm not going to be staying in this time zone, Jean Ricard. Just wait till I get home. You go back to normal time. Um, Shit, I just remembered it's going to be like 10 o'clock in the morning. It'd be daylight. Wow.
Yeah, you've been doing this so long at this time, it's going to be weird going back to your old time.
Yeah, it will be. It will be. And I was just thinking, it's like, but it's been good here. I mean, I've been enjoying it. This week, I've been trying to get on the new Serbian high speed train that goes from Novi Sad to Belgrade. And I tell you what, that was a bit of an adventure. And also just trying to get into Belgrade. Parking is atrocious in Belgrade. Now where I end up? Oh, here we go. Oh no, yeah, it's not here. I thought it was I thought it was a little kitty cat. Oh, geez, I went from 5 to 2. Yeah, hello and goodbye to those that did come in. Um, I did find a nice little place where I had to go and get another bag because since you're not going to send me a spare suitcase back, I had to go and buy one. Um,
Hey, do you know how much it would cost to send a spare suitcase to you?
Well, do you know how hard it's been to find a suitcase here in Northern Betche? Or even just a bag? Oh, no, they don't want me, Jean Ricard. They don't want me. I, I tell you what, it's been an adventure. It has.
Evan doesn't want him, and Serbia's too afraid he'll take over.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's probably what it is. I mean, if the Chinese won't, then I got to. Um, but at the end of the day, like I was in town on Tuesday. I thought I'd go down to Belgrade since I'm in Belgrade to sort out my rental car. Gee, that was a nightmare. But I sorted it all out. Now I want to get a tram or bus into town. The problem is all the buses and trams have got um, acrylic style writing on it. They do not have a Latin style writing on it. So I'll be bugging if I know where the trams and buses are going, apart from the route numbers. So I've given up on it and I try to go into where the old station used to be in Belgrade, but when I looked at all the construction and the way a lot of people are driving in there, I thought, nah, bugger this, I'm getting out of here. Um, wise decision. But I tried a couple more times. I went into Novi Sad to get the express train. Now that place is hell for parking. Um, and just trying to find an entrance to the car park. You got to pay for parking in there, but you got to use the phone. And of course, we all know
Oh,
the issue
I hate
between
those.
agents. There's not even a parking ticket machine. They said go to the shop. You go to the shop, nothing. Um, so I gave up in Novi Sad, but I did have a look. I don't know if people are aware of last year. I think it was October, November, just after they reopened the station. Uh,
Is that your girlfriend?
no, no, that is the neighbour's boyfriend barking.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, the
Oh,
neighbours.
they play those kind of games. Bark like a
Yeah,
dog.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Because if you hear the howling, yeah, well, we'll have to go silent then, because we won't know if it's the dog or if it's her. Um, but I don't know if anyone's heard. Last October, November, there was a little bit of a disaster mishap that happened in Novi Sad where the awning fell down and killed 16 people. I'll show
Hmm.
you guys the photos later, but you can see what failed in it. I tell you what, that is the worst, shonkiest concrete work I have ever seen, especially having the structural concrete beams, and those beams were nearly 40 plus years old. And of course, they added to it. They changed the stringers for it. It's cracked, but it's already been cracked, and it just gone plunk. I'll show some photos later on.
Sean Ricard says, "Are you sure that Australia wants you back?" That's from a guy that won't leave Denmark because he knows Denmark won't let him back in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Anthony, you should know better. Artie's into rabbits. See, there you go. Sean knows. Um, I really like the Playboy bunnies, though, Sean. I really
I
like
was
the
about to
Playboy.
go with a Playboy Bunny joke myself, but
G'day, James Dundas. How are you, bud? But
hello, James.
yeah, so that I've given up on getting the train from there, and then I asked, "Where's the train coming from?" And the girl that behind the counter says, "Well, it goes from such and such." It's like, "Where's that?" And it's like you're not getting much information. So I gave up. I came home. Now today, I end up going to visit one of the other fellow YouTubers, who actually works at Novi Sad, well, near the railway station. He was one of the conductors on the platform, but now he's actually in stores and whatnot. I Let me dig up his. Let me see. I've still got his link handy somewhere. Um, okay, what was that?
That was my computer. It should have been
Ah,
muted, but it.
that's your computer. Okay. Let me just find his YouTube page again. DB. He lives in a town
Hello,
about an hour south from me in a
hello,
town
Brett.
called Titel. Now, near Titel, it's a Lubisha, his name is. Um, he's actually was, thanks to him, he'd done a series. Hang on, let me just get to. I found his page, but I just found one of his videos. He's actually got a series on how Novi Sad when it was being upgraded for the new train. G'day, Willow Creek. How are you, buddy? I'll just share his link here. People go and have a look at it. I mean, he's got a fantastic series in it. Thank you very much for the cup of coffee. He may be watching in tonight. Now his family actually, um, they're basically a railway family. Both him and his brother work on the railways. Their father worked on the railways. Their father was uh, like a station master, basically. The place where they're staying at now, he did tell me to not disclose the station where they're at. Um, but they live in an old station building, but which is no longer in use. Nice little town. It's called Titel. Now, at Titel, not far from there, that's where the river near me, Tissa, actually joins up to the river Danube. Sorry, I am getting mosquitoes around here, so I'm going to try to. Let's hopefully I survive that being bitten and sucked by the end of the show. Um, He lives next to one of the lines that's been revamped. It is our main freight line at the moment, or branch line. He does occasionally get freight trains that goes up towards Renningen Way and some of the industries, and links up to the rest of Europe. Now, he informed me today, like the railway line between Belgrade and Subotica, which is near the Hungarian border. That line will be officially open by August, or the trains will be going all the way to Subotica. And by this time next year, the line will be hooked up all the way to the Hungarian border, and into Budapest. G'day, Southern Cross. How are you?
Hey, Dirk.
Um, but apparently, the Chinese are actually investing a lot in the railway infrastructure here in Serbia. But they're also investing in the rail infrastructure towards the south, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to ship their containers from Turkey up into Europe, since they cannot ship it through Russia. But they actually make an alternative um, rail infrastructure. But it's good for the Serbians here. It'll be a quicker service. It's like from Novi Sad to Belgrade. It's roughly about a 35-40 minute train trip now, where once upon a time it used to take you about 4 to 5 hours. So let me see if I can get the video up. I did manage to see one go at speed today at Novi Pazova, where I did actually get on board that train today, and I did take a trip into Belgrade, a quick trip in. I didn't go exploring Belgrade because the station that it goes to is not the old station. Um, I'm going to have to leave that for my next visit next year. Um, as you know yourself, Anthony, we can't see everything all in the one trip, can we?
Absolutely not.
You got to leave some for later. Let me just find that video.
We were in Copenhagen for 2.5 days and barely scratched the surface of it.
Oh, that will be that would be a lovely place to. Hang on, let me just catch this. So Novi Pasova is also about an hour and 20 minutes south. I do have a cousin that lives down there, but the boss is not home. He knows I'm in the country, so he's left. Bloody hell. Geez, it's hard to find good relatives these days, isn't it?
You're in the country, so he left.
Yeah, yeah.
How many people do you suppose have gone to Australia now? Artie's out.
Look, yeah, I don't think so, because apparently it's bloody cold back home. Down in Mineral Falls, where
Yeah.
you went. It snowed there the 2 days ago.
It snowed in a rainforest? That's just crazy.
Yeah, well, we came from up the top, but it was snowing. It was like -5, -6, so they actually had snow. So here's Novi Puzzle. This line's been upgraded, and here's the new high. Hang on, let me just get the right video up. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh, come on. Thank you. Here's the new high-speed train. Did you guys see that? Did you blink?
It's a
CMD,
little,
how are you, buddy?
it's a little bit like those trains we saw on the
On
container.
the wharf up in Hamburg, isn't it?
Yeah, not quite, but very similar. Still
They
would love
were,
to know what country
they were
those
the
were
same
going to. Although I
style.
think
Definitely the
Israel
same
was.
style.
Hey, CMD. I still think
Um,
those just because they had what was it,
oh, he had a
ISR
strange
on them,
logo on it, didn't it?
because they had ISR on the tarps on the back. I wondered if they were going to Israel.
Possibly, because I didn't. I didn't go back looking in for the logos on it, but yeah, she was off to somewhere. Um,
Because Joyce has
and
posted the video of the boat trip, and including the video we took of those train cars on the container island.
yeah, I have it too, but it's on the other hard drive. I haven't got it hooked up. CMD, I'm going to be up in your area after Tuesday, sometime after next Tuesday. I'm going to be coming up into your area, so lock your doors and close your windows and shutters and whatnot, and you've been warned. Um, you haven't do global warming. Yeah, right. Maybe. But yeah, I finally got on a ride on that train, or one of those trains anyway. Um, Sadly, wasn't going that quick. Um, and you always got to. Okay, I will drop you an email, CMD. I will be in Innsbruck from Tuesday. I fly into Vienna, and is it Vienna? Yeah, I'll fly into Vienna, and from Vienna, I got to catch the rail jet from Vienna to Innsbruck, and I'll be staying at the motel, which is going to be right next to the railway line. Hopefully, I get the window with the view. I mean, the room with the view. Um, okay, CMD, I will definitely get your email. Um, or you can drop me an email, which is in my page, and I'll come out looking for it later, and I'll swap contacts there. Um, it'd be great to see you. I did look at. Better get your jobs done. Yeah. But yeah, there is a train trip I do want to take, and that goes from. I don't know if I got the right spelling, but it goes from Graz down in the south, goes through Innsbruck, and actually it ends up in Linz. That's one train trip that I would like to take, and I believe that new train that I've actually bought. You know those OBB City Rail jets that I got, and City Rail trains. It does that service, so I would like to really go for a ride on that train on that route, and it's. If I remember last time I saw this route, it actually got some of the scenes where I would like to model. Um, so yeah, I will be spending just over 4 weeks in Austria, and I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm really getting itchy feet to get over there. Hopefully, everything has been resolved at my grandfather's place. there's always one more thing, one more thing. They've also, I was just saying to Anthony before the show started, they've sent me the land rates for the place. But the
You
thing
got
is,
a
I can't
property
do
tax bill.
property tax bill. I mean, I've done them a favour and knocked down the building, but at the moment, I can't build on it. I can't sell the property. Shut up, bloody dog.
Hey, don't talk to the hired help that way.
Pardon?
I said, don't talk to the hired help that way.
Chasing the neighbour's dog out. I mean, a cat. Um, I can't build on the property. I can't sell the property, and they can't do nothing on the property, but they want me to pay land tax on it. It's like, well, I'd see the lawyers on Monday morning.
They can't charge you a tax. You don't own it. If they charge you tax, that's a sign that you own it.
Actually, hang on a minute. No, they didn't send me the tax. They sent Mum the tax bill.
Ah,
Yeah, they sent Mum the tax bill. But Mum's like, who am I? Yeah, no, it's not going to work. Hang on a minute. There, sorry, I had to yell in Hungarian. But yeah, so I have now covered. I have actually um, one thing I have done. I've completed a run between Kikinda, which is one of the main stations up north where my um, biological dad's from, up and around that area. There used to be a big beer factory up there too. Um, I've actually got now coverage from there right down to Zrenjanin Station. Went to a friend's place last Sunday at Zrenjanin, and in Zrenjanin there is the very last steam train that ran along this line back in 1991, and it's a 210, like the 52 class,
mm-hmm.
sitting at Zrenjanin Station, rusting out. So I'm going to show some photos of that. So I give you guys something entertaining. Um, but yeah, it's actually quite sad to see what's happening with the infrastructure here. How low it's been left to rot, basically. Um, I mean, I even seen the old shinnebuses that were actually constructed and made that had been parked up since the Civil War down in Zrenjanin Station. I mean, it's sad. So let me get the.
Hey, Stormy Sky
Hey,
Production.
Stormy Sky, how are you?
Jennifer, whichever one's here.
Um, Now, Kikinda through to here used to be an alternate main line from Hungary. Um, Now, the original Orient Express used to get diverted through there when the line through Novi Sad was closed and couldn't get through. Novi Sad was from Subotica, Novi Sad, Belgrade, on the original line. That's where the original Orient Express used to go. Um, and occasionally it used to go down through here when something major happened back there, back on that line. So let me try to share the screen again and show you guys some of the photos of where I have been and what's left of, you can say, basically.
An old Serbian passenger car.
That's a cow car. Fully air conditioned. That was third class actually. That's the third. That's your third class. Let me see if I can go. Let me see if I can go back, and this will give you now the direction. Oh, stop! Stop!
Stop!
Stop!
Stop! Stop!
Thank you. Now, that direction there that you're looking at is actually takes you towards the Hungarian border. Now, a lot of these rolling stock that's here has, and there's it was a big yard here. There is a lot of stuff left, as you can see, to decay. There's bushes in the background there. There's carriages up behind it. Um, it's basically just a storage facility now. This is quite clean for some of it, and I don't know if people remember that passenger train that I got from Novi Becce when I first arrived here. This is where it starts from or finishes at. So you can say it's the end of the line or start of the line here. Um, the line to Novi Becce behind the bushes there in the distance, our line goes to the right, and the line to the left would actually take you towards the Romanian border. So that gives you an idea whereabouts we are. We're about half an hour to 45 minutes drive from the Hungarian border. Look at there's the old rolling stock there in the bushes. Now, if you remember last week, Anthony, when I said that when I went through Blutner, through Bosanski Novi and that the stations were overgrown. What you see there, it was twice as bad as that. You just couldn't get to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're still. I mean, they looked after it. I mean, they still got pretty good carriages there. They were just left there to rot. I think it was in this one here, or one of the other photos is actually I took a photo of where there's trees actually growing inside the carriage. Um, I think it was in this one here. Yeah, just to the left here. One of these carriages here. It's actually got trees growing on it. I will make up a better video for people during the week to have a look at. Of course, there's a third class car carrier. I mean, passenger car carrier. Now, this carriage here, by the looks of it, dates back to the late 40s, early 50s, and it acted as guard slash brake van. I remember seeing guards on. So, yes, they are. Now, if you have a look at a lot of these cars, Stormy, you will see that a lot of them are very similar to the German, but I mean, most Europeans use the same style of freight cars. G'day, Tammy and Ray. G'day, Ray. How are you? Say hello to your mum.
Hello, Ray.
But a lot of the rolling stock here, you'll find that a lot of them are ex-German rolling stock, and some of them actually have been built here or have been modified. Oh, hang on, let me just go back a bit. No, that's it. There you go. As I was saying, they got trees glowing up through the floors. And that goes to show you how long they've actually been sitting there for, and they're just rotting away. And looking at actually, they got the Serbian registrar up on the side there, so I can't see any other dates on it. But you can see it's been sitting there for a bloody long time. But it was once a busy line. A lot of these lines along the line here used to have silos and wheat and hay bales and that, and they're all empty. This is the park out in front of Kikinda Station. Now, There is a water fountain here. There are some places in okay, some places within this area. Um, the drinking water's so bad at the tap water that people are still going to wells and getting the bore water from under the ground. Um, it's like- yeah, they're basically the same Southern Cross. They're basically the same. But when you look at, I mean, even here, they've actually got a water pump drinking well just around the corner from where I am, where some people are still using that to retrieve water because you cannot use all. You can, but you can't use the drinking water. Now here's that old steam engine. Now here we are, is Drennan, and I spotted this.
Now Artie, this is a case where in the model world, I gotta say that's a little too much weathering. They just went a little heavy on the weathering here.
Do you think?
Yeah,
I thought it.
I don't like to criticize, but that's too much weathering, people.
Oh, but there, look
All
what's
right,
in the
Dirk,
background.
take care.
Who's loving and leaving us? Um,
Dirk, Southern Cross has to leave.
okay, Dirk, take care, buddy. Um, gotta go. All right, buddy. Catch you later. But I mean, look at the important thing. You got the most important factory in Zrenjanin in the background, behind that steam engine. That used to be your main brewery there in the background once.
Mm.
They made a lot of different types of beers there. Um, but like with everything, it come to a stop. They don't make the beers there anymore. Um, but yeah, this is actually taken in front of the old slash news station, the old station, and she was parked up there. This is the last steam engine that ran along here before the Civil War, and it still bears the JZ logo on it, which is Yugoslavianski Železnica, which is Yugoslavian Railways, basically, and it still bears its logos. It bears its logo from back then. So you reckon I've gone a bit crazy with the weathering, do you? And scores of stacks are gone. Smoke deflector's gone on it. The driving rods are gone. Um, yeah, the cab's seen better days. But it's a shame it's just sitting in the bushes here, left to rot. Now, Zrenjanin here, well, also, in Zrenjanin, they also used to make trains there, like the Shinnebuses and um, some trains they actually did manufacture or restore here. They actually did have a manufacturing facility basically from the steam engine, but it's all gone. Now, here's the Shinnebus where they got left and parked. There's two in there. These are the ends of. They used to run up to here, down to Punchua, a place called Punchua, which is next major centre to the south of Zrenjanin. And then you've got Belgrade. But they're just sitting in there. They're two-car sets. Um, and you just can't get to it. Look how overgrown it is. You just can't get to it. Um, Now this is Zrenjanin Station. Now that building in the background, that is a produce warehouse, storage facility where they used to ride the trains, but it isn't anymore. But here you've got some couple old wagons, freight wagons. I reckon they'd be dated back from a fair way back, especially this one to the left. Um, just by the size of it, but don't quote me. I could be wrong. But they too have like a guard slash um, brake van facility in these carriages. I do remember, if I remember rightly, some of them actually used to carry. They used to be like an armoured guard style of carriage, where they used to actually take the payrolls and that um, for the banks and for the railway staff along the line. But it was an interesting find that. There's another one of the old carriages, all um, freight facility, but you can see there's another Shinnerbus there in the background with the orange and the white. But it looks like it's got a continuing on it, doesn't it? Um, but yeah, those other Shinnerbuses are actually sitting behind those bushes there. I couldn't take as many photos as I wanted. I did actually have a security guard watching me the whole time. This is, well, the way I started, that is actually looking up towards here. Only the first three lines have been used, the rest are dormant. This is the Union Station now. The newer station, which got left abandoned, is further down, just past this building. I'm getting attacked by this. And there you go, there's the old steam engine there. Isn't it sad that they've actually left it there to rot? She could have been put somewhere where she could have been preserved or something at least. But I don't think they'll be able to do much with it now because what I saw of it, it looks like she's got a piston taken out of her. So it looks like the guys from down Twizzlers had already got to it and taken parts off it, what they could. What else do I have? Multiple shots. Okay, here we are. We're at Novi Sad, which is the main line now, the main express line that goes from Belgrade and eventually and it takes you up to the Hungarian border. The freight trains are coming through here from the Hungarian border, but I don't know if a lot of you people have noticed. Yeah, they do smell funky, Andy. But here you go again. I've been in Kikinda's got one of these. Where else was I? In Reka's we got one of these, but these are the Hungarian built tank engines that were used on passenger services, particularly more so on the local ones. They've been running since, what was it, 1917 or something, around about that period, 1920. I do remember seeing some of these running right up to 78, so they've been around for a while. Hungarians, if I remember correctly, they actually were dominant in this region with the most successful tank engines ever built, right up to World War One and towards the period of World War Two, where Hungarians actually utilised more tank engines than tender style steam engines. Now, in the guy that you see in the statue in the background there, that was the basic uniform that the railway staff from the previous era, the Yugoslavian railways, wore from 1949, I think it was, right up to about 1985. That was their uniform. You can just see the new panographs and that in the background. Novi Sad never really actually had an electrical service until this big major rail infrastructure got put in. Um, Here we go. So this steam engine was actually 1925. So from 1925 on, Lokomotiva Marv, she was built in Budapest. But yeah, she was built in 1925. I think the other two were actually a little bit smidge older than this thing here. Sabotage, Pruma. Okay. Vojvodina. So she was actually running within from Novi Sad up towards where I am. Vojvodina is actually like a region, like say Ohio or like a county. Vojvodina is actually a county here. Um, and now Novi Sad is actually sitting right on. It's really well set out. You've got this railway station to your left, and to the right of this photo, you've got a huge bus terminus. That you can see, they're taking a shot from the other side. I had to be very careful how I was taking photos because I had a young policewoman sitting behind me in her car. Um, you know how well I get along with police officers, don't we? And if I zoom in, this is where that awning was sitting. That collapsed, where 16 people got killed. Now, there's no passenger trains running out of here because apparently it's still under investigation and they're still trying to see who the blame is. But when you see the photos that I show later, yeah, the blame goes way back to when it was constructed. But you can see the little holes up the top. That's where they had the stringers holding a concrete awning, which was down the bottom here. They've changed that, and yes, it just gave way. Now, I don't know about you people, but I think I can see just within this concrete beam here where the fault lies. Whoever whoever was a structural engineer and whoever approved that concrete beam to be poured with the steel like that, I don't think it's arrived. But you can see clearly there's already been cracks developing in that awning before they started messing around with it. And of course, when you got heavy machinery using jackhammers and vibrators and particularly with those tabbing machines, that would have just
Hey,
um,
Artie, you got a question from Stormy Sky. They asked, do the Serbians of that get funny if you're filming trains?
um actually they haven't been as bad as what it was down in Rijeka. I actually had more problems with Rijeka with the staff on the passenger trains there from the Croatian railways than I did here in Serbia. Um, I actually didn't get a chance to get too many trains here. There's not that many trains running. Um, where I got the photos around here, I just made sure I didn't have anybody in the frame. They get very funny and very pedantic if you photograph. And g'day, Randall. If you're taking a photograph and they're in the photo, they get very pedantic. Some train crews, like I did in Bosnia,
Hiya,
yeah,
Randall.
they're all for they were all for it, and they even there's a video of me in Blutna, in not Blutna, in Bosanski Novi, where the train was actually pulling out of Bosanski Novi, and the train crew and the driver, he was actually just tooted a horn and waved out the window. So basically, it's where you are. But here in Serbia, I have not had any issues, mainly because I've been trying to be, what do you call it, like discreet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I
But
meant
you can
to
see what
first.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying my best not to get people in the frame. But you can clearly see there where the fault is, can't you? Look at the rebar. That's supposed to be in the middle there somewhere, but it's not. Someone's got a lot of explaining to do. Um, and of course, you can see where the stringers that actually held the thing up was trying to hold it, and that's the new platform. Very nice platform. I'm not that I could get up there because it's all been taped off. Um, but if you go and see that link that I left there, I will put a link in the description to my friends, to our YouTube friends channel. He's actually got videos from up above on that platform while they were constructing it and redoing everything. He actually has run a series on it. So you guys, it would be good to go and have a look at it. Now, with, as you all know, there was that commotion here back in the 90s. This region did get bombed, but they also needed to rebuild the bridge. And this bridge here is one of the main links. It actually works as a road bridge and a dual track railway bridge. It's been funded by Serbia and also the European Union. We are actually sitting on the banks of the Danube River. A bit further down the stream is where the river Tissa comes out on. But this bridge here is is one of the bridges I'd have to go across if I'm not using a freeway to get to Belgrade. Um, the old bridge used to be just a little bit, just a tad smaller, with only a single track, but now this has just been all upgraded. It's not that old, and that's looking into the old part of Novi Sad. It is a city of churches. I got lost trying to find them all, but it used to be known as City of Churches. But there is a lot of old buildings in there. This will be. It is Hungarian dominated. The direction I'm looking at the moment is actually, if we go back in the history of the regions before World War One, I would be actually now taking a photo from the banks from Serbia. In Novi Sad actually sits on what used to be Hungarian territory. So that gives you an idea of the geography of what it's like. But now, of course, since World War One, when this region got split, it actually fell into Serbia slash Yugoslavia. When Yugoslavia was formed, what was back in the after some between World War One and World War Two. So yeah, just a bit of a history information. It's very nicely done. There's a nice walkway that takes you along the bank of the Danube, and you've got about two, three other bridges towards the left, and takes you back to one of the old Serbian castles. There is, I don't know if I've got in the photo here, the Tissa Canal is just around the bend there. You can see one of the oil refinery slash gas refineries here. There is a couple of gas refineries here, and they also make acid further up. And they actually have power stations here that are run by gas. This area has got a lot of gas and oil reserves under the ground. Shame they got a lot of weeds. There's one of the oil facilities. I had to be now. Stormy was saying about photographs. Now, I had to be very careful. Uh, Ali is the prototype of spy. It is understandable that. Thanks, John. Thanks. You're a good buddy. Well, as you see, I was trying to be very careful about the way I took this photo because to the right of this front, to the left of the frame there, we actually had the Serbian army on their riverboats. So I had to be very careful not to put them in a photograph, just in case. Um, and this is looking under a bridge. It's actually interesting how thick the beams are, and the way it was constructed. Uh, but I thought that was a nice little photo. It gives you a bit of an idea when, particularly those people that want to make prototypical bridges. This gives you an idea on what this bridge is like underneath it. Now, obviously, there's your roll one on this on top. This is at the southern end of the bridge. Um, you got the double main line there on the left. In the distance, you can see them excavating the new freeway. There is actually going to be a new freeway system put in through here that would actually connect you into Belgrade eventually. Um, at the moment, the high speed train is not coming through here. It is actually uh, Kemenci, which is the next station up, is where the high speed train's coming through. Only the freight trains are coming down this far north. Sorry, taking multiple shots. That's looking at the bridge before I've gone across it. Now you got two lanes,
Oh,
2 lane road with a two track bridge. So here we are back at the river. This is in the middle of the bridge, looking to the north. Um,
as
Sigurd
you can
Novi
see, Artie is whale hunting because a bunch of Serbians conned him into whale hunting, and he's got his harpoon there.
bugger, bugger, you didn't have to give that away, did you? Um, but talking about city of
He's
churches,
Australian and have some fun. Tell him it's free. He can do some whale hunting.
just be in a lot of trouble if there was whales up here. But as you see, in all side, we've got one, two churches there. Um, there's a couple more behind these high rises. I think there's another one. There should be another one back here somewhere. But this is actually looking north of the Danube River now. The old army barracks, the old the old Belgrade army barracks that actually protected the Serbian border, or protected Belgrade from at the Danube River from the Hungarians and the Turks from up here up the north. So it's still standing. It is still operational too, some parts of it, but the other parts is the museum. Round the corner is one of the actual castles. I think I do have a photo of it somewhere in the other system. I'm not too sure. Um, but I've got to be very careful around here with taking a lot of photos of some of these structures because you don't know if they're active or not, and they don't like you taking photos of something that's active. Um, that's another. Yeah, I took multiple shots just in case one didn't work out too well. There's a better shot of the old castle slash the old military barracks. Still got the old clock tower. It's still operational, as I just found out before the show. Um, Next time when I have a bit more time and don't have to worry about the affairs that I had to do around here, I'll take a better tour of it next time, next year when I come back over.
Well,
Um,
if you're having affairs over there, just make sure you don't go to a Coldplay concert and get on the jumbotron.
that kind of affair. Um,
Oh, a different kind of.
a
Oh, okay.
different kind of affair. And there's one of your power stations. Yes, it was once a coal-fired power station, but now it is actually gas-fired power station. So
Oh, so
you
they better
utilize,
eat the local food there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's plenty of gas in the pipelines. I mean, just don't strike a match near a sewer pipe, because it would just go boo. Um, it There's a lot of methane in their sewer system here. It is bad. Yeah. Um, Now this is near at Titel, and it's actually quite interesting how they done the staircase here. Um,
Hi, Greg.
G'day, Greg. How are you, buddy? Um, Anthony can vouch for this, and even CMD and everybody that's been here in Europe. Um, Bicycles get used. Um,
A lot.
they get used a lot throughout the whole of Europe, even through here. Um, I mean, even in this town here, you got push bikes. If they can't ride a push bike, they got electric scooters. But they're a little bit more behaved around here. They don't go racing 10,000 mile an hour. What were you talking about? Chinese didn't build what, the bridge?
The building, the one that had the collapsed awning.
No, actually, no. The Chinese didn't build it. That awning was built way before they came in. So, um, yeah, that awning will be a good 50, 60 years old. So to actually get someone that actually done that, that'll be quite difficult. Uh,
Yeah, that's the wheelchair accessibility ramp there.
yeah, 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 exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you come to a sudden crash. But the whole idea of the ramp in the middle being so smooth is so it's easier to carry your bike up and down the stairs, which is a brilliant idea, actually. Um, Not that it gets used much, um, but yeah, it's there. I thought it was just something different. When someone says you were talking about last night, and when something else come across, prototypical modelers, they go, no, you can't do that. It's not prototypical. Well, somewhere in the world, someone has made something that will be, yes, it is prototypical, like the staircase. Um, I reckon that's a good neat idea. Okay, to tell, this is up the top of the bridge. I couldn't get to the junction or where the Tista and Danube join up, so I had to get a view from here. Just beyond that tree line there is where the two rivers meet, and it's all farmland. It's almost like parts of Germany, isn't it, Anthony?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there are subtle differences, but yeah.
Yeah, there's actually the part. I actually found the farmland and pastures up in Germany a lot cleaner and neater than these ones here.
Where are you going to tell?
To tell, yeah, to
To
tell.
tell. Yeah. Well, I'm not
And
going
if
to tell.
you're not going to go to tell,
I'm
you're not
not
going
going
to
to
tell.
tell. I'm not going to tell.
Good,
Well, I wasn't going to ask you.
good. But this the fun. Uh, with me driving around here in Serbia, it gets
It's a tough neighborhood
confusing.
too. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. You got two different styles. As you see, there's your two different styles of writing. The one at the top is the actual. proper Serbian style acrylic
Cyrillic. Yep. Named after Saint
style writing,
Cyril.
and the bottom one is Latinia. Now there are parts around here that you have, like to tell, for example, the name of the town. But in that town, like Novi Sad, there is actually four different names to it because because it used to be part of Hungary. It's got a Hungarian name on it. It also has a Serbian name on it, and it's got what it's known now. So it's got four different names on it. So you got a sign that's got eight different styles of writing on it, and you wonder now which town am I going to? No, that's just the one town. Um, I'll take a photo for next time. But this is the town of Tatel. Nice little town, quiet. I've got to say it's a bit cleaner than where I am here now. Um, and this is actually on the banks.
So you were
Oh,
happy to tell.
I was happy to tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
And here's another bridge like what was in Novi
Some
Sad.
people don't like to tell.
No, they don't. But over here they do, and they keep it to themselves.
Then they
Now
don't
this
like
is
to tell. If they keep it to themselves, then they don't like to tell.
exactly,
Do they overspray the signs like in Belgium? I don't know. I'd have to see a Belgian sign to see what overspray is.
yeah. Um, but a lot of places around here where the railway line is close. It's actually pretty common to see the road bridge here, and to the right of it, it's a single line rail bridge. And this is crossing the River Tissa, the one that comes up through here, through the town where I'm at here at the moment, and it also ends up going up to Budapest. They use Tissa as a shortcut route for the Danube River. Instead of flying the Danube River right around, the River Tissa actually goes straight up through, but you can say it's like a shortcut. Um, and they've actually got a lot of canals that runs off it, off Tissa that actually irrigates the farms. Like the one around the corner from here, I'm hoping to get a photo of it tomorrow that went past my granddad's place. That's a dugout man-made canal for the farmers. What's interesting about this bridge is the steel girder is actually encased inside the concrete for some reason. I don't know why, but it is. Maybe to prolong it, I don't know. Um, but it's a different bit of a construction. Now that's looking up towards us along the river. Um, you got everybody with their little fishing spots on the left with their little um, boats and houseboats and whatnot. Yeah, there's plenty of fish in here, but I wouldn't eat them. Um,
That's what Evo
again,
wrote, for sure.
what what's that?
Sorry, just reading what Evo wrote back.
Uh, Get up, Papa John. Yes, they do, Eva. They do overspray the signs. Some places worse than others. Uh, yeah,
Also, they
yeah.
spray out the language they don't like.
In some areas, yes. There has been a couple of towns around here, not far, where they actually have done that. More to the south than here. Um, Novi Becha hasn't been too bad, but when I go up to Novi Miloševo, which is part of Novi Becha, next town up, yes, you do see it up there. Um, it is what it is. You can't change history, really. And that's looking to the south. But I mean, these cross beams on the bridge, it looks quite iffy. Yeah. I mean, I've got some good examples. And this is just taking trying to get a 360 view of it. It's nice countryside down here. But I still reckon the German countryside looks nice, looks a lot neater and tidy. But even the streets in Germany are cleaner than what we have down in this area here. Streets down here are very dirty. Um, but look at the beam. I mean, the beam's not even sitting on the edge there. It's totally missing it. Maybe one sitting on it. But the same thing was towards me here. And there's a lot of wood rot. As you can see there, you don't need ties or sleepers. Look, just let it drop away. So if you got bad track, you can still use it if you're modelling Serbian railways. And you can actually see here, you see two bits of track there, that's for the expansion. Like we have expansion gaps and whatnot. Now with the hot and cold, the track will actually still beam on the bridge. Will expand and contract. So that's how they get away with having buckled track when they do the track work like this. Um, but yeah, wood rot, it's really bad. There you get a better view of the expansion gap. That just stops the tracks from buckling when the steel girder on the bridge expands in the temperatures. Like today's temperature down here was 32, 33 degrees Celsius. It is getting warm, but the other day through here was about 38, 39 degrees. So that bridge would be expanding quite a bit. But look how thick the concrete is on the concrete girder. But I just hope it's made better than that awning in Novi Sad. But that is one serious concrete. It's interesting how it was built. There you go, more rotten sleepers. Yeah, I just took that photo again. I think I showed that. That's down here is where the Tissa joins the Danube down the far end there. Now we're at Novi Pazova. This is the high speed line. Now this train here was heading up north. I'm not going to say exactly where it was going, but I know it was going north. So it could be going Hungarian border. It could be going to another little town up along the line because it is harvest season at the moment. So they could be emptying out the grain silos. There is a carriage on here that I've seen. The blue one is from Czechoslovakia. But it's amazing. I mean, they've done a lot of work here. Some of it is by the locals, but sadly, the rest of the work is done by the Chinese. They're actually employed their own workers to do the line. The locals actually missed out.
Hey, Ray Brittleson.
G'day, Ray. How are you, buddy? And there's bits of the old platform that are ripped up, and it's still sitting there in the cornfield. And Belgrade Airport's just somewhere, beep, 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 just over in the corner there, in the cornfield. Now, this clock here, okay, now, serious modelers, I'm going to need your assistance here. Can anybody tell me what ratio, what scale that clock is going to? Because I was trying to work it out. Now, this is not being fast forwarded. This is what the clock was doing.
Hmm.
Yes, Andy. Belgrade Airport is a cornfield. Or just about.
Go back and replay it.
Go back.
Replay the
Okay.
clock going again. Let me see if I can get the ratio.
The fast clock. You know how everybody uses a fast clock? Actually, this one would be a good one for Jason.
So
Train
8 seconds per half hour. So 16 seconds, 16 seconds per hour. And there's 300 and well, there's 3,600 seconds in an hour. So what is the ratio of 18 seconds to 3,600? That's about 1 to 200 ratio.
Yeah,
So you're looking at Z scale. The clock is going at Z scale speed.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be about right. Yeah. Mm.
Or
Thank God we don't. Thank God I don't run on. Hey, I run on that.
yeah, just all right. All right. I know I like to play a dumbass on YouTube, but every now and then I'll show that the brain is actually a high end functioning brain.
Yep. Um. But yeah, that's what I thought. It was just out. Oh, this is something I'm going to put on later on. But yeah, I thought it was actually quite funny when I saw it. It's like shit. I missed my train. Oh, I missed my train again. Should be another one
Technical.
coming soon. I mean, look, the trains go so fast. Look, here goes another one. It goes so quick, you blink and it's gone. Um,
That's
actually,
the guy
they
who
got.
kind of wakes up and goes, "What the hell, man?
Oh,
We've been
can
at
you
this station
imagine
for
when you
7 hours." No, just
can
about
you
2 minutes.
can you imagine? Can you imagine coming to the station when you're drunk and seeing that going around the clock going around like that? I've got to say they did do a nice job on this station.
Taking away the moments that make up a dull day.
And that
Fritter
this kept.
away the hours in an offhand way.
Yeah. Talking about getting wasted. Yeah, I just wasted my time away just sitting on a train station. I was sitting there for hours, and all the train came past. If you go by that clock, you would be saying the truth. Um, so that was looking towards Belgrade. I mean, it was a nice train trip going to Belgrade, but only probably about 10, 15 kilometres down the track, they actually started going slow again, and it was like, yeah, no, maybe next year. I do actually have a shot of it coming through now.
Ah! Heading right for us.
Hang on, do you want to see that again for those that blinked? Yeah, and yeah, yeah, I couldn't believe it. She's actually a check car. This one. So it goes to show you how far over the border they go, doesn't it? In a European system.
Either that they borrowed it and haven't given it back.
Mm. Yeah, that too. He's the one that I travelled on.
Hello, Serbia. Could we have our coal hopper back, please?
That's a wheat hopper. Mm. One caller.
Whatever.
Yeah, one caller. Now, caller is actually
Yeah,
car
make mine a
in.
Coke.
Yeah, no. Caller is actually car in Serbian. And actually, caller is actually uh, yeah, car in Croatian as well, and caller is actually also like a polka for people that like music. Yeah. And this is coming into Belgrade. Now, a
In
lot of this
Serbia, there
area.
are no train or planes. That's why we have to take trains.
Now, we are going across one of the newer bridges. Now, this bridge here, opposite us here, uh, the Steel Truss Bridge, that's the old line. And towards the right, when we get to the other side of the bank, is where the old regional turntable and rail facility used to be. Um, just down around here it was, and the turntable was on the other side of it, but it's all been bulldozed down. It's all been knocked down. And it's all in preparation for the Expo 2027. Now, in this direction here that I'm looking at is also takes to the old Serbian station or the old Belgrade station that I would want to get to. Because I do have an old Russian built steam engine that I was hoping to get to, but I didn't. But I mean, look at the state of some of these buildings here. I mean, yeah, they're not really the best. But now we're going up into the underground.
Boy, that
Um,
sounds sort of
but
contradictory. Going
what's
up
that?
to the underground.
Yeah, going up to the underground. I know it contradicts itself. Um, I know it contradicts itself, but it is. Okay, where are we? Here we
It's
go.
all gone. Well, we went into a tunnel and it all went black.
Yeah. So basically, tunnels are usually a bit down low, but I mean, this tunnel is actually on the underground is actually going halfway in through the hill,
I was going to
up
say
on a
there's
hill.
plenty of tunnels in the Alps, so there are plenty of tunnels up high too.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
underground. Underground implies under the ground.
Mm.
So you shouldn't be going up to the underground unless you were in the underground. And then
Well, you've been in through the Sydney Underground. We went to Circular Quay. That was
in
going up in the underground. Well, it was going up in the underground, and it was going down in the underground. Um, the graffiti looks. Yes, Andy. In some places, yeah, the graffiti around the city actually does look better than the actual building itself. I mean, some of those buildings are decayed that bad with the concrete. But if you have a look what they use for gravel and what they're using river rock for gravel for concrete, and when you're looking at structural buildings, that's holding a lot of weight and
based
whatnot.
on their construction skills, they're better off using Legos.
Well, funny you say that because I did actually see. Oh, where was it? Uh, just before I got into Munich. What's that? What's that other main city that they got there? That train stop at? Starting with was it? Starting with R, I think it was.
Depends on which way you're going, dude. I can name 150 cities on the way to Munich, depending on what direction you're going.
Now I'm going south towards Munich. It's a big major stop.
Nuremberg, depending on which way you're coming from. Nuremberg,
Yeah, Nuremberg. Nuremberg. That's the one. Nuremberg. I think it was just south of Nuremberg or near Nuremberg, where they're actually doing some railway construction.
We don't talk about Nuremberg anymore.
But they've actually got the way they're laying the blocks for the embankments looks like big Lego blocks where it's just entwines in itself. I mean, I had to have a good look at it and so think to myself, they look like Legos.
There's an
Yeah.
awesome model train shop in Nuremberg.
Oh, cool, is it?
Oh yeah, it's the room, the building or room it's in is relatively small, but it's double layers of sliding um, shelves, and behind each one of those sliding shelves are just boxes and boxes and boxes, and the shelves go at least 8-9 feet up to the floor, and it's like 5 rows of it, and then all the walls on the side, and there are so many rows of shelves, and there's like just enough room for one person to stand, and if somebody's trying to go down, you become very familiar with each other to get past each other. If you're trying to
Oh,
come from
yeah.
opposite ends, usually you just try to go around the other way and hope somebody's there. What is it called? Donna. Oh crap, my brain's gonna go poopy now I'm gonna have to look it up. I've got it saved on my Google Maps. If my Google Maps will work. There we go. Da 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 da. It's a massive shop, man. They have every brand, every freaking brand. There we
Have
go.
they got?
Nuremberg. Not that. I'm sorry. I'm accidentally in Bamberg. One further down. What's it called?
Lots
Come
of
on.
noodles.
That's Museum Nuremberg, Kaiserberg. Dudes, come on. Where is it? Eisenbahn Dörfler. Yeah, that's it. Dörfler. Eisenbahn
Okay.
Dörfler.
All right.
Dörfler. D-O with umlauts, R-F-L-E-R. It is, the building is relatively small, but it is just packed with train stuff. There,
Is it safe for me to go in there or not?
is it safe? Define safe. Nothing's going to fall on you. If you're worried you're going to go in and spend money, I was able to resist the temptation, but for you, no, it's not safe. You would spend money.
Oh, come on. Yeah, I mean, I had to get that crane. Come on, I really had to get
Oh,
it. And
yay! Who am I going to criticize for buying new trains? Who am I going to criticize?
but I
But
mean, even
Dörfler's is an amazing. It's But if you're claustrophobic, don't go in it. If you're claustrophobic, Joyce
but I
is in
mean,
there with.
what about that catch that I got with that limited edition Roco
Yeah, you
ODB?
did fine with that. You did fine with that. I turned down getting one because I had other things to buy. But yeah, Dörfler. The other funny thing is that now it's been since 2019 since I was last there, but they're still in business. They're still fine. Um, but when we were there in 2019, they had 4 guys working there, and they were from super helpful, willing to do anything for you, to get the fuck away from me. I don't have time for stupid customers. You
Uh,
had 4 guys there, and they covered the gamut of who was going to help you and who was like, yeah, I only talk to professional rivet counter modeler people. I don't deal with you normal customers.
okay, that sounds like someone.
And
That
I
looks
see
like the stuff that
Christmas
someone
house.
that I knew used to have that no longer works for them. Yeah, I won't mention the store, but yeah. But I mean, if someone goes in there to spend money, you want to look after it. What's that? Not.
It's I do love it. I would actually like to go back and spend a little bit more time in Nuremberg. I wouldn't mind going back to that area. Um, they're finally building a high speed rail from Berlin to Nuremberg. They don't have one. If you want to go from Berlin to Nuremberg, there isn't a fast rail. You have to go, or is it? Yeah, I think it's Berlin to
Yeah, you
Nuremberg
got
and
to
down.
go.
You have to
You got to
go
go through
over
Frankfurt.
and then down.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
well,
that's
or yeah,
yeah.
from Berlin you have to go like over to Frankfurt or somewhere else and then zig back down. There isn't a direct route. Also, from Dresden, there isn't a high speed route from Dresden to Nuremberg either. You have to take regional, or you go over to Bamberg and change trains and catch a high speed going down. You can even
Yeah,
do a rail jet that way, because rail jet still
I
as
think
north as Bamberg at
I,
times.
Because I think that's where I saw that track construction I was telling you that I was just mentioning. Where I actually saw it, and they actually look like Lego blocks itself. Like we've used concrete blocks before, but just the way they are, they literally do look like giant Lego blocks. But these blocks weren't as big as your concrete blocks we used to have. So it'd be actually interesting to see how. It'd be interesting to see the how it's going to look when it's all finished. Um,
But so yeah, we talked to the one guy and
hey,
finally worked our way down to there were like two nice guys, one guy that was serious, and then the fourth guy was just he. If you were not a high end digital professional rivet counter to you, he did not have time for your silly question of, well, how do I add a digital switch here? You had to know how to do that. He did not want to talk to you unless you were like a professional construction guy. It was just funny. They had the four guys working there, and it was just each one was either, depending on the way you looked at them, the meanest to the super nicest or the super nicest to the meanest. It was just
uh-huh.
funny. I think in the model rail business, you can, unless you're super successful, you can't afford to be a jerk or a
No,
snob when you're
not with.
running a train shop. You got to expect to deal with everybody. So it was like going into a model train forum where you get the guys that only want to talk to other high end model train people. So it was
I
funny.
mean,
Hey,
I
there's
mean,
Chris from the
technically,
mountains. Hi, Chris.
but then technically, where I mean, you're high end, and I'm heading that towards a high end. I mean, look at the price tag.
I'm
That's
not,
a
well,
high end price
I'm not
tag.
talking high end in prices. I'm talking in about
Oh,
being
yeah,
a
okay,
perfectionist, rivet counter,
yeah.
ultra prototypical, um, and snobby about it on top of it. Just it's almost like a classism. You're beneath me. I don't deal with you common people with your simple train stuff.
But I mean,
I
if
only
you really
talk to
want
the
to go,
people.
if they really want to go prototypical, particularly with European, with American and Australian, not so bad because they got the KDs, which looks close to prototypical. But how would you go with the European ones where everything's chain link? Man, can you imagine? Can you imagine doing the chain links underneath the passenger car? No,
It's
forget it.
Yeah, but they sell the couplers for people who like that and blah blah blah. It's just there's just there no matter what hobby you're in, there are the people that you know every whether it's fishing, whether it's model trains or remote controls, there are people that there's a ideal of the way it should be, of perfection. This is how it should be. There aren't two ways, there aren't three ways, there's one way, and you do it this way or you're not a serious whatever. And it's I mean, I never have time for those people, but like I said, that guy, I just Joyce and I had spent a lot of time in that shop just looking around going, whoa, because it was the first time we had gone into a model train shop with the intent of going into a model train shop because I had just gotten into the hobby.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
just really started getting big into the hobby, and this was the first big model train shop I had ever been to. I
I
hadn't even,
even,
and it's still
I,
one of the biggest shops I've gone into. Hunterbine's by far is the biggest model train shop, but these guys in a smaller building might have had as much, definitely had more new and recent stock of more companies than Hunterbine's had. They just had Hunterbine's was the one we went to in Aachen that was just so huge it was like a supermarket for model trains.
yeah.
Um, Check the video out on my channel about Hunterbine's. Um,
Mhm.
but Dörfler, Eisenbahn Dörfler, they had probably more new stock and more companies on their shelves, but in a much smaller building. The difference
Yeah.
is Dörfler's did not have quite as much used and old stock, which is about half of what um,
We used to have
Hunterbine's
two hobby
had.
shops. We used to have two hobby shops like that in Sydney. One was Hobby Co, which used to be not far from Chinatown, down the lower end there. Um,
But Hobby Keaton in Denmark is an
and then
awesome
we had
shop.
another one, Tom's Hobbies. And when you used to go in there, it was like going into a supermarket. Just aisles and aisles of different branded trains and kits and you name it. I mean, a lot of times I only used to go in there for a little bit of track, but about 3 hours later, I end up coming out. And
Yeah.
sometimes with a couple of new trains under my belt, or kits under my
Well,
belt.
that was Hunterbines. I mean, Aachen is a tourist town. People go there to see the Charlemagne Cathedral and blah blah blah. But there were tourists in Hunterbine. There were people that were not model train people by hobby at Hunterbines
Hey,
because,
Mansell.
hey man, how are you? There, good morning to you. They came in because Hunterbines this big model train shop, and they were just looking around like, oh, Grandpa would like this, or and
I wonder how long that would take from Innsbruck.
you heard so many. You know what? I did not find, and I'm sure there is one. I just did not look or find. When we were in Innsbruck, I think it was 2017. We were in Innsbruck, and I was doing the hobby and wasn't looking for model train shops.
Well,
2019.
actually, oh my. So hang on, Nuremberg. That's not too far from Munich because I've got
Oh,
three
yeah,
days
it's about a
before.
2.5 hour drive, or drive or train ride from Munich to Innsbruck. Yeah,
No, I meant to the hobby shop that you're talking about.
oh
Because I've got
no,
three
no,
days
no, that's in Nuremberg. That's in Nuremberg. Eisenbahn
Nuremberg.
Dörfler is in Nuremberg, which is not far from Munich. It's
Yeah,
our,
yeah. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah, because I've got 3 days there, so I
because
might have to
Munich.
go in and have a.
Now, how many times have you been to Munich now? Just on this trip, you've been in and out of Munich a couple of times. Okay,
Well, space.
there is a big model train shop at the Munich main station.
Well, I didn't spend much time at Munich station when I went through
Well,
there
next
first
time,
time.
give yourself a couple of hours between trains if you got to change at Munich, and go into the Munich train station, because you've actually got two shops. You have what's called in German, the name of it is Gleis 11, which is platform 11, and that
Yeah,
is a really nice shop, and it's on platform 11. Walk over to platform 11, and the
yeah.
shop is actually on the platform there. But it's a big
Oh,
shop, because actually platform 11 is the last one in that part of the building, and then they have a large wall area, and then inside the train station, the train station is bigger inside than most people think. There is a giant mall in the back, and you have to zigzag around your way, and there's a nice train shop in there, which now is partnered with Gleis Elf. But it used to be a Märklin store. It was a Märklin outlet store, basically. But yeah, if you next time you go to Munich, Gleis 11, and then yeah, if you get a chance to go up to Nuremberg, Eisenbahn Dörfler. It's on the south end of town near the main gate. As if you're going into the main gate of the old city, the
yeah.
Altstadt, you, instead of going in the main gate, you just keep, as you're looking at the main gate, you go around to your left, and it's like one street over. Um, but then also in Nuremberg, again, it's going to be European trains. As you head into the Altstadt, you just go through the main gate, the southern gate, and you go up, like you're going to go up to the Imperial Castle or whatever. There's this big square, and on one side is St. Lambert's Church, and on the other side is a department store called Muller's. And that Muller's has a toy department that is 2 floors, and one half of one floor is their model train department. And until I had gone to Dörfler's, Muller's in Nuremberg was the largest model train shop I had ever seen. And then we went to Dörfler's and went, yeah, this is even bigger. But Muller's in Nuremberg has a huge model train selection.
Because I got invited by a nice young lady at Munich to spend a bit of time with her for about 3 days. So hopefully I'll get the chance to go down to that shop to have a bit of a look down at Munich Station, the one that you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
Because there is a couple of because there's still a couple of things that I'm looking for, and if I can actually grab it from there, I don't have to.
and the nice thing is Gleis Elf is predominantly two rail. They have some through rail there, but they're mostly Roco and Pico and some Brava. They don't have a lot of Märklin there. But it's a nice shop, and the people there are really friendly people. At least our experiences with them have been, because we've been to it a couple of times now.
Because there are a couple of units that I'm still looking for, and of course I am still looking for that railjet in the Roco.
Nuremberg and Munich, the closer you get to Austria. And again, I don't know, because I was in Innsbruck in 2017, and even though I had just really started getting big into the hobby, when we traveled to Germany in 2017, we weren't thinking, let's go to model train shops. In 2019, it was the first time we started saying, let's see if there's a train shop in town. And we started looking. So there might be one in Innsbruck. I don't know. I'd have to.
There is one, I think, or two, not far from where I'm going to be staying at in Innsbruck. So, clear. Okay. Thanks, MD.
Yes, that is very true. They had a EMU, a class 425 from Märklin that was normally 299, and they had it on sale for 130 euros. And I tried. We were on a little bit of a budget. We didn't have the budget we've had the last few trips. And Joyce, I should get this. Oh, but you're still hoping to find this, and you really, Joyce kind of was like, no. And to this day, I regret not having bought it. Do you really need it?
That's the one I was looking for, CMD. Yeah, that's the one.
Reiner and Innsbruck. Yeah. Okay, I figured CMD would know.
But see, I'm just really, really bloody well annoyed, particularly with you, Anthony. Extremely annoyed with you. You managed to get a train that I wanted before me again. Pit. I wanted to get that one before you.
There's a phrase. It's synonymous with hard poop.
Tough titties.
No. Tough titties is never a bad thing. Tough bras are bad, but tough titties are good. But yeah, you get the. But yeah, so next time, I don't know if I'll ever go to Innsbruck again. To be honest, Innsbruck is one of those towns. It was beautiful. We did it, and Joyce was like, "Yeah, that was kind of boring."
I'm going to look around Innsbruck.
We wanted to do there, but anytime I talk about maybe going back to Innsbruck, she's sort of like, eh.
I'm more or less going to be using Innsbruck as a home base sort of thing and just explore from there. Because a lot of destinations where I want to go to, actually, a lot of the trains depart out of Innsbruck. So I'm going to be using Innsbruck as my home base for about 4 weeks while I go and explore before I fly home again.
Oh, that was near Amrazerstrasse, Rats. That wasn't. It wasn't quite near the heart of the Altstadt where we were really hanging out at, but
yeah, because it's
not a big town. It's not a big town.
Because there is a couple.
I saw my first railjet up close.
Because there are a couple of little places where I would like to get close to and get some shots for myself, mainly for my layout, like on the bottom section. Because when I saw videos of it, resembles a lot like what I'm going to have down on the bottom. So I just like to get some photos of down there, just to get some sort of like impressions, just to try to get a bit of a a grasp of how I'm going to do it because I'm not that far from doing scenery at home. And since Innsbruck and all around there, it's all mountainous ranges. I mean, I might as well make the opportunity and just have a good look around, apart from me
Mhm.
being the one to go there. I noticed there's a music festival going to be on too while I'm there. So, I'm not,
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
well, for me or for them?
For you.
Why?
Because Joyce and I have had the music festivals are fine, don't get me wrong, but traveling in the region while there's a train festival going, oh crap,
Mm,
we have been on trains so packed that uh, people would have been hanging outside like on a train in India if they could.
yeah.
The big one, we were taking our students to Munich one time, and what is it, Schasel? I can't remember the name of the big music concert festival they have near
Oh,
Hamburg.
yeah. I know what
Oh
you're talking about.
and the people were partying. Like we watched a guy finish off an 8 pack of beer on the hour and a half ride from Delmenhorst to the stop at the concert or at, where everybody got off for the festival because that train went from packed to empty.
Yeah, that is one of the train trips I want to do, CMD. That's one of the train trips I want to do when I'm down there. And that's the track I want to take my time on.
Yeah, Innsbruck
To
to
explore.
Kufstein would be a nice trip.
Yeah, I really want to look at
I
that.
haven't done it yet.
Um, but that's all. Yeah. Okay. I'm hearing voices.
Kufstein's a nice place.
Yeah.
You're always hearing
Um.
voices, Artie. That's why you need to take your pills.
Oh, it's that time. I think. Well, I've got to take my pills. Mm. But yeah, I am looking forward to it. I mean, I've flown over it now twice, and I'm like looking at the Alpine area, and I'm like, Jesus, and what to bloody explore down there? I'm not going to be able to do it all in one trip. So, oh, it's been brutal hot here too, Rand. I'll feel for you guys. Just hopefully it's dry heat, not that humid heat. And hopefully Monsville is doing all right back at home because I know down in Sydney it got to 1 degree there, 1.5 degree there in the Western Sydney, in the foothills of the Blue Mountains. Um, it's been bloody cold down there. I think I might extend my stay over here where it's warmer. But I hear down around Innsbruck and up through that area, it's cooled off a bit. But yeah, same day. Hopefully we'll be able to catch up while I'm over there. As I said, I'll be there for about. I'm gonna be there for 4 weeks. Roughly 4 weeks. I'm gonna be there because I will be in Munich on the 16th of August. This is when I got to be in Munich. Um, yuck. Sorry. No. Yeah, that sucks, Randall. So anyway, I'm going to call it quits because I'm getting eaten alive here. The Mozzies are starting the bite on me. Anthony, thank you very much. Hopefully, everybody have a great week. Behave yourselves. Um, if you're not going to behave yourselves, make sure you do a bloody good job of what you do bad at. Um, yeah, well, yeah, Andy's show, I might try to get there, but no guarantees, Andy.
Hoping to be
Tomorrow,
there because it's been a while for Andy.
yeah, I've got a few more things I've got to tidy up here, tomorrow before I go, as well as pack my bags. So I will try to get it. If I don't, I will catch up. Because it's my last weekend here. I know there's a barbecue here on Monday. So if you want, Andy, you can come over for the barbecue on Monday. I'm going down to pick my nephew up the airport. So if you want to come around, yeah, I'll pick you up there. Be there for 10 o'clock, no problem. Actually, he's coming from the UK, so you can catch the same plane he's on. He leaves over there at 6:10. All right. Well, he can come for a
I got a
free
couple.
barbecue, can't he, Anthony?
I've got a couple of hotels to book.
Who does?
I do. I got a couple of hotels to book today.
Okay. Yeah. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me here. Now, I think I'm going to keep. I'll keep my time. I'm still here at Europe to that 10 o'clock um, slot because it just makes it more convenient in case I'm somewhere where wars have ears. If we all know what I'm talking about. Bloody expensive barbecue, but it'd be bloody worth it, Andy. Come on, free grog over here, buddy. Free grog. Free Palinka. Hey, Anthony, you know about Palinka, don't you? This one's nicer than George's. Yeah. So now, guys, take care, be safe. Do viđenja, laka noć,
I'm gonna
US a
try
cut,
it.
and take care. Bye.
Toodles. Bye bye. Bye bonds.
Boom.